I'm Don Wildman. I'm in Romania, home of Dracula.
Why does he look like he's in such a rush? Feels like someone's maybe like chasing him or something.
Just 215 miles from the capital city of Bucharest lies a massive bat cave. It's among the largest in Romania, and it's where the legend of Dracula begins.
And where the current Romanian Batman resides.
Spelunker Vadim Bondar knows these caves like the back of his hand.
It's him. He's Romanian Batman. I'd bet my life on it. That's the guy.
Okay, this is the gate. Reservation here.
This is the gate to my secret bat lair.
This massive cave we were exploring stretched down 4 levels. So the best way to get into it was to rappel.
Aw, yeah.
It's my favorite part of adventure.
Action montage. Get the drum solo.
So we can't get professionally harnessed. These guys are good.
They really cinched my groin tight. These guys know what they're doing.
You have another 15 meters. This is the last.
I'm American. I don't know what that means.
Man, this is beautiful.
Is that 200 feet? I don't know.
You got a lot of caves. You got a lot of bats.
Yes.
It's kind of understandable how
Yeah.
people could make the connection between Romania and vampires. Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. You admit. Good.
Yes.
So there could be vampires in here. Who knows?
Sure.
Dracula got his name from his father, who was a member of an elite society called the Order of the Dragon. It was an elusive fraternity founded by the Holy Roman Emperor in 1408, and Dracula literally means son of the dragon, or son of the devil.
I feel like the second one's a stretch. I mean, who formed this? The Holy Roman Emperor. I'm sure they would definitely be like, let's name ourselves after the devil. I think they'll really like that.
The Turks released Vlad with their own agenda. They appointed him officer of a Turkish army. Just 17 years old, what Vlad Dracula was about to do is far more terrifying than fiction.
He stabbed a bunch of people.
While the myth of
Why are they doing a car horn? It's a horse-drawn carriage, literally. Mrrr.
While the myth of Count Dracula
Still
is
better editing than me.
Prince Vlad Dracula returned home.
He's still in a rush. What's this guy running from? He's like out of breath too. He's like, we gotta make it. We have a very tight schedule. We're gonna miss our train.
To defend his title, he fortified his capital, Trgovista, against attack, and plotted a revenge so bloody, so gruesome, that it would one day earn the young prince a new title, Vlad the Impaler.
Man, how'd he get that title? I wonder what he did.
Today, the evidence is 30 feet beneath the castle.
They use the same damn truck horn. They're like, we got one truck horn, that's enough, okay? We're not buying 2 truck horns. What do I want to spend another $1 on copyright? Nah, fuck that. Use it again. Roll it again.
Vlad had impaled 10,000 people, including women and children. He watched from the tower where we were now standing as the impaled slowly died. Incredibly, he actually made the stakes out of the trees.
They were the actual...
He did it himself too. Every single one. He was really into impaling. You know, you gotta have a passion in life, right? You have to have a passion. He spent his nights whittling these stakes.
So this is the actual prison cell for his prisoners.
This is the prison cell, yes. Here were held until they were convicted.
I don't think I would want to spend a day of my life imprisoned by Vlad the Impaler. Yeah, not a lot
You
of
know,
room.
that's a very controversial opinion of
Here it
his.
is.
The room I was in is thought to be one of the prison cells beneath Trgovista. It was
Like there's
part
just a
of
skeleton on the
massive
wall.
underground complex of
This is like Daggerfall graphics. This is amazing.
The subterranean prison I was exploring was built to withstand the pressure from this massive castle up above.
That's the castle. It just looks like a super basic Minecraft house. Like it's just like 4 walls. I guess what more do you need, really? I'm surprised. Guess he went all out in his tower church thing.
Thanks to the simple Roman arch, these dungeons have remained.
Thanks, Arch.
They were held here for 2 or 3 days until the judgment was pronounced by the prince. They were interrogated and...
I have a feeling he didn't find many people innocent.
Like a Did the other guy just bark? What just happened?
And,
I have a feeling he didn't find many people innocent.
say Vlad Tzepes was an unfair man. He was a very just man.
He was he was a just dude. Super fair. He only impaled the people who deserved it. He was a fair man. Infidelity, impalement. Theft, impalement. Murder, impalement.
Romanians remember Vlad as a hero.
That's
and
fair.
Not a murderous madman. He once invited the sick and poor to Dracula for dinner. He then locked the doors of the hall and set the room on fire. Essentially
Why?
eradicating poverty in Wallachia at this very castle.
That's one way to
This
do it, I
underground
suppose.
prison-
His advisors are like, hey, we have a lot of poor people. And Vlad's like, just put them in a room and kill them all. Horrible. What a psychopath.
In 1457,
No more poverty. We're all
Dracula
dead.
built another fortress 40 miles northeast, even more imposing than the first.
He had a lot of impalement money at this point, so he built another fortress.
It's a 1,500-step climb up the steep hillside just to get to the entrance.
Oh my God! Look at
Vlad's like, why the fuck did I build it
he could rule.
so high up?
One Easter Sunday, Vlad served a feast to his own subjects, some of which had helped to murder his family. He then impaled the old and weak. Vlad ordered the able-bodied men to march 40 miles from Trgovista to Ponari.
So I guess the lesson is, if Vlad invites you to dinner, do not go.
Part of what Vlad's captives built is a dungeon 12 feet beneath the surface. Usually it's off limits, but I was given special access down.
We're gonna leave you down there, bud.
How many people did he keep down in this place?
Just a few people,
Yeah, just a few prisoners.
because he used to impale them very quickly.
He didn't have that many prisoners.
It was a very quick turnaround at Vlad's palace. It's better than the American system, you know? You get sentenced to death here, 10 years, 20 years. Vlad, 3 days. In some ways, he was a better ruler.
Though today this dungeon is in ruins, 500 years ago it would have been under 4 levels of the castle. And directly above this room would have
Okay.
been Dracula's master bedroom,
That's a little fucking weird.
where he could hear the cries and pleas of his prisoners only a few feet below him.
I guess it just helped him go to sleep. Ah, screams.
He vanished into the Romanian underground.
Just for
According to
fun.
legend, Vlad Dracula disappeared into escape tunnels carved into the side of the mountain, and with the help of local peasants, fled to a nearby province called Transylvania.
Why would anybody help him? Because they don't want to be impaled.
But instead of a helping hand, Vlad suddenly found himself in prison.
Good.
Vlad the Impaler terrorized his people for 5 long years until 1462. He was captured and held for years as a political prisoner. But even the thick...
He was probably sitting in the cells like, if I was in charge, I'd be dead by now.
This is the prison cell.
Yes.
Jesus, these were not nice places to be. No, you just don't want to be held prisoner in a place like this.
Do you know for sure?
Denmark, now that's where you want to be held prisoner. No, Sweden. Sweden, that's the place. Beautiful amenities.
Like most dungeons in medieval Europe, this isn't someplace you want to spend the night.
Find me one dungeon in medieval Europe where you do want to spend the night. Find me one. Because he most implies that there's at least one out there that's nice. I don't believe it.
Experts believe Dracula spent 12 years in prison here. And while confined
12
to a cell,
years?
the former prince kept up with the impaling. He would stake spiders, roaches, and even mice. He skewered the pests with slivers of wood peeled from the floorboards and displayed the impaled like trophies on his windowsill.
Aw, he misses his power. He misses his throne. He's like sitting there, harumph. His little mice impaled in the background, like, I wish I was king again. Me. Maybe he just impaled people inside prison because he's like, well, if I'm here for 10 years, I don't impale anything. I'm going to lose the reputation. Got to keep up the nickname. It's a source of pride for him. One day, if someone called him a different nickname, they're like, Vlad the Imprisoned. And he was like, nuh-uh, that ain't happening. Took a sliver of wood and impaled mice. He's like, I'm Vlad the Impaler, motherfucker.
A few realize that beneath this castle sits a subterranean space that once imprisoned one of the world's most ruthless leaders.
Is it her? Is that King Jong-un?
Vlad turned a small fort in the remote
He's
town
rushing
of
again.
Bucharest,
See, he's
Kurtievaki.
passing those guys
He built a
easily.
massive
They're going to be
citadel and
back there
surrounded it
by the
with
time
his
he's
loyal
done.
But deep beneath the ground, a small piece of Vlad's grand palace still remains.
Told ya. Told ya. Another dungeon.
Ask any Romanian where Vlad the Impaler is buried, and they'll tell you about a darkened church on a remote island, accessible only by boat. Some say his
Slow
skeleton
down,
remains
dude.
were
Catch your
stolen.
breath.
Others
I feel like he just kept walking. He's like, he just kept doing takes and takes, kept screwing it up. He's like, no, we're just going to keep doing it. No resting. His cameraman is like, please, we have to slow down. We have to. You're panting. He's like, no, we're finishing it. I'm tired of doing this.
It was built by Dracula by his order.
this
Yes,
well here.
this one here. Yes.
During the construction of this well, Dracula is rumored to have placed a bag of gold next to it as a symbol of his power. He claimed that as long as he lived, no one would touch the gold, and he was right. Legend says the gold remained there until the day he died.
Wow, that's a ballsy move. What a dick.
This is his tomb. Yes, this is his tomb.
His remains are under here now.
We think so.
This is the mystery.
We think
Some of
so.
the people-
Probably.
Most sources
Just kinda
say that he
glanced
was
over
finally
that.
killed in battle and beheaded by the Turks in 1476.
It's
The
appropriate.
Turkish version ends with Vlad's head displayed on a stake in Istanbul. But those who revere his legacy say that his friends buried his head on Athos Mountain.
I don't believe it. No fucking way. That guy had friends.
But Vlad's bones were never found. Many mysteries surround the fate of the real-life Vlad the Impaler.
Well, I think it's pretty obvious why they haven't found the body. Because he's Dracula. Come on, guys. He's still around. He's out there. He could be watching this video. Hi, Dracula. How you doing?